Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great weekend. You guys are having a lot of fun and just enjoying yourselves. There's definitely it's been some times definitely since I've made a video. I've been wanting to make a video. I've been feeling under the weather, so it hasn't really been a great weekend for me. But nevertheless, here I am, and really, like I've said before, I feel like I'm just running out of things to say, and it's only because I believe that everybody is it's going in the right direction with everything they're supposed to do in life. There's a clearing, so to speak, and just the just the atmosphere of the whole um, the whole process that as an individual you're going through your ascension process. Ascension is an individual process for every one of us. You're going through it on your own terms. You're doing it your own way. You are clearing a lot of baggage that doesn't let you proceed to go to the next level. You know, the seven deadly sins, that kind of stuff. Um, just uh, living in your own space, understanding your circumstances, and freeing yourself from the burdens of have tos. I have to do this. I have to be that. I must be perceived in a certain way, right? And it just ruffles feathers of people that are used to a status quo. That is a sign, obviously, that you're following your own journey in your own heart. Maybe you've lost a friend and you feel like you have to do something about it. Now, maybe you've been led out on to believe things that you realize now aren't very true, and they're not aligning anymore with your belief system. Your belief system has changed. There's a couple of phrases that I usually say to myself. It allows me to stay in touch with my it allows me to stay in touch with reality, to feel grounded, other than just walking barefoot or doing meditations or centering yourself in a way where you're concentrated enough that time flies by. I used to do that a lot with drawing. Like, it's gonna sound silly, but just like doing this connect the dot thing, that at the end all these straight lines form an image as you start to trace them each. That kind of focuses you on one thing and just kind of lets everything else out there just be what that is, be what it has to be. So you're not at any you're not at any it's not in anyone else's time but your own time. It's not in anyone else's time but your own time to follow your path regardless of what people say around you, because what feels true for you in your heart right now is it's a feeling that I wish every person would have, and every single one of us would experience. Um, just based on the fact that reality around you would immediately look out of shape, out of control, functioning in an irrational way that makes everything work for us as individuals. But as you ascend, in ascension, what does that mean? What does it mean? It means that you are separating yourself from the outside world and going deeper in within yourself and clearing baggage and clearing things that bring you down. Your your immediate family has a traditional belief, and I don't know, any sort of holiday that you feel like you don't want to participate in anymore. And I mean, you're there, obviously participating with them, but your heart isn't into it as much as before. And that's one way of seeing ascension. Maybe you've been in your congregation enough to realize that something isn't really for you. It doesn't trigger you positively in a way that it should. There's the human factor of any sort of congregation, and that's acceptable. But still, your connection to your creator is your unique creation to your creator. And there's just a path to get there. Or maybe your work environment has changed and you don't feel like you're connected in that way. Still, you're there for your income. You might be there for your friends. You might be there for people that you like, or it's a 20-minute drive to work, right? I mean, like, there's so many different things that make things viable for you, but still, you are the one that changes within. Your surroundings don't change as much. It's you're the one that's changing. So a lot of us think of a circumstance of that is that maybe I should go around and teach people everything that I've learned, all the books that I've read, or the things that I'm reading about, trying to teach it to others. That's probably not a good thing. You could be going through the chapters of the books and thinking that maybe everyone should know this, but that's not a good idea. And I say it respectfully because it's hard to put into words your very own experience of the things that you go through. The things that trigger you might not be something that triggers me. If you're part of the LGBTQ community, there might be triggers for you that are not there for others that don't see the world the way that you see the world. So that's always a stopgap where you would have to reassess, and you can't just go and shout to the rooftops, I'm a divine creator, and I wish that everyone would too be a divine infinite creator, right? Not a good thing to do. It's not. So again, man, I'm not feeling very great today. Nevertheless, like I've said earlier, I want to put this video out for you guys, everyone involved here. Um, you know, America is going through a transformation. It's the shining beacon of hope for the whole planet, and every other major superpower out there knows this. You will be respected as a country again. You will be bound to take this planet and make it the most abundant, beautiful, and free planet in the world by the example of an abundant, free, beautiful America that we don't live in yet, but the seed is planted for all of us to be part of that greatness. Wherever you're from, no matter who you are, if you're here right now, it's because you matter enough to make a change. And that's what's important. So never worry, always have faith, believe that you can, trust in yourself, and have the courage to do something about it. Because if you know something, you immediately have a responsibility to put yourself out there and let whoever needs to hear you what you have to say. I don't care if it's the guy that's sitting next to you on the bus, or if you have a podium with 100 people, 1,000 people listening to your speech. You say your truth, even if it's a word or a sentence or a phrase. Okay? Speak it because you know it and you have that responsibility to put it out there for whoever needs to listen, because every little bit counts. So a lot of you have a family members in the Pleiades, and not long ago Not more than a few weeks ago, I was presented with an image of uh, our family members in the Pleiades are waiting for us. There's no greater um, knowing is that you're out here on planet Earth and doing your Earth mission because you feel is the right thing. You have a whole family waiting for you back home. Each one of you left something behind. Each one of you's left something behind. You left behind an image or a symbol of your presence there. For example, a lot, and these are just women that are coming to me and just saying, my husband, my significant other is on planet Earth working, right? And he's just living his regular human life. I mean, I've met people from the Pleiades that just blew my mind away to think how beautiful they are. I've met angels in human form here on planet Earth that if you can understand how their energy feels. How does it feel really for me? And it's different how it will feel for everyone else. But when you get close to these individuals, immediately I feel like I'm at their level. So imagine for a moment if I'm the mail room manager or something, and the CEO happens to come down. He's looking for a package. When I get closer to the CEO, I can understand his level of competence, the reason why he's in that position, and the respect that he deserves because he has that title that represents every single one of us in that institution. I'm not crying. I'm a little sick. So, maybe just a little bit crying. So, yes, and when I have come across people from the Pleiades like that, I immediately just kind of have this connection with them at their level where they really are, and that is significant. This individual came to me, and the example that I was given wasn't true for her, but as an example. There's a room in her house, in her home, or there's a place in their master bedroom where his wife sleeps, in the Pleiades, on the spaceship, wherever that might be, where there's a single drop of water that's floating in midair, and she says that that's his. He left that consciousness. He used his consciousness to leave that drop there for his wife to see, to know that he's with her at all times. There's a little piece of him still with her in the Pleiades, so she gets to see this droplet of water hanging in midair every day. Obviously, I come to the basic conclusion that maybe when the water droplet has fallen to the ground, that maybe he's passed away or something. But I'm just thinking stuff. Nevertheless, I'm trying not to blur the image of my opinions and what I'm told, and not put BS out there for you guys. Just a little fun. And also for um, our Earth, patriots that we have in the United States, the Ashtar Command has recently, in the past few weeks, been noticing of the very good things that you guys are doing, and I can envision them on their looking down on us, and then seeing the chessboard, and then they're seeing the moves that you're making, and they're just like, okay, they're just watching the gameplay. They're a military faction out there in space that's taking the time out to come and see what's happening here on Earth. For whatever slightly insignificant or significant move that you're making to make the world a better place here in America, there's a group of individuals out there interested enough to come and see and check you out and see what you're doing, right? So I think that's pretty cool. Either way, this is my update. I didn't know what to talk about update, but there were a lot of ideas circling around in my head, and this is the first one that just popped in there like that. it could always go sideways because I could take it personal and then start pointing fingers and saying things to people. But there's no time for that. There's only time for good things and positive things. And whatever stuff comes out when it needs to, it just needs to. And I felt like this video was absolutely necessary. Also, I think that you're very absolutely necessary. You're a very important person. We had a lot of conversations and stuff that you forget. I know. I understand that. Mostly because we haven't been communicating in videos as we used to do before. Hence why I'm coming back. But since last time, I'm here to say that there's definitely a group of people that love you and they're there to protect you. And they need someone in charge to make the right choice, to keep the flame of hope and freedom alive, to keep it going, because that's important. So you have been told a lot of things, which I can talk about now. For example, the last group of reptilians have already left the planet. I can't say if there's more reptilians or not, but just imagine what I'm trying to say here, where 99.9% of reptilians have left the planet already. They can tell and they can see that continuing support for their activities and whoever is out there supporting their previous agenda, there's a dead end. It comes out to being a dead end situation where that's not going to end very well. So in foresight, they saw this and they chose to leave the planet ahead of time. So they're gone. I mean, they're gone way before the shit hits the fan. So that they made that choice themselves. They left in the month of September. That's how long they've been gone for. And then whoever's just here is here for now. There's really nothing else except I think that's one of the most important things to keep in mind. Keep the faith, stay strong, and I'll see you next time, guys, and hope you have a good rest of your weekend.